Hi, I'm Harry here with Cybersport.com at the PGL Krakow Major. To my right is dupreeh, a face that many of you guys should be more than accustomed to. And of course, you know, the Major didn't really pan out the way you guys expected it to. Sadly, you did end up losing to Gambit 2-0, which must have come as a bit of a shock to you guys. Was it, you know, was there maybe a bit of an overconfidence there, or did they just play really well on the day?
I think, first of all, the game against SK, we played our A game and everyone was playing so perfect. Yeah. Everything was working out for us. Against Gambit, we were really slow to get a good start. Overall, people just played worse. We had a bad communication going on. It was only throughout Inferno we kind of felt it was starting to glimpse. And also on Train, it worked out a little bit better, but it wasn't enough. Obviously, Gambit played better than us, and they deserved to be in the final.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, it was Overpass. It was the first map that I think you ended up losing to Gambit on, which must have come as a bit of a shock, right? Considering even though Astralis are sort of the master of the map pool, right? You guys have a very, very deep map pool. Overpass has been one that has somewhat become a bit of a signature for you guys. What would the Astralis B-side take on Overpass being quite a, you know, a thing that a lot of these teams are throwing in now? So the second you lost that map, did you really start feeling the pressure? Is that when it really hit you that, you know, okay, guys, Gambit could take this one away? We
got very surprised that actually played it well, but I don't know, Mo had his best game of his career. I think he had like 35-8, and I don't know, he was just playing his sets out. No, but I don't think so. We had the best 3 maps in our map pool playing against Gambit, so we have no excuse not to have won that game. So yeah, I don't know. Like obviously we should have won Overpass. We just made too many mistakes and didn't really get our game flowing, and people didn't communicate as well as they did against SK. So I don't know. We knew we could still win on the last 2 maps, but yeah, we really wanted the Overpass to go in the batch as well.
Yeah. And you know, then let's not just look at the negative, let's look at the positive. You guys played SK and you played phenomenal. You have a bit of a rivalry building up with SK somewhat. You know, you guys take events off of them and then they come straight back and take events off of you, and it has been that back and forth. I think just before this they knocked you out of ECS, right? They were the team that actually kind of put the nail in the coffin there. Of course, you didn't attend ESL 1 Cologne, which was you know, kind of a management decision from you guys to practice for the Major, and that did show, right? You had a very good game versus SK and it showed that it had, you know, it had panned out. Do you think that comes down to the break, seeing how they performed at the Major? Was that perhaps a bit of a story behind the success there?
I think one of the biggest assets to our break was the fact that we didn't get burned out playing. I think you could definitely feel that SK was a little bit, like they were starting to get burned out, same with FaZe Clan. So I think a lot of the good teams actually played too much prior to this tournament, and that's why we decided to take a break. But yeah, we have some kind of rivalry going on with SK. It's been with FaZe Clan as well, but it's always good to have some kind of rivalry team because you always get really good matchups. And usually whenever we play SK, it's mainly only a matter of 1 or 2 rounds that matters who's going to win the game. So it's very close all the time. So apart from that, yeah, I like playing SK and the fact that we always give a good game. And obviously, yeah, I don't know, it's just good.
Yeah, and you know, then speaking of rivalries, there's the one that's sort of the big one. You know, you had the Clash for Cash rematch, and you also played them in the E-League Major. That was VP, and I think a lot of people saw that being the final from here. That's at least what it looked like. It was either going to be the way a lot of people looked at it, kind of an SK VP final or an Astralis VP final, and to most people's surprises, neither of you guys are there. So, you know, I mean, was that something you were kind of hoping for, the chance to play VVP and just, you know, kind of get that chance to show that you are better than them, you know, even on their home soil?
I would have loved to play VP on home soil, whatever you say. That was like a mixture of 2 words. But yeah, I would have loved to play them in their home city and home crowd. I got goosebumps the other day when I was in the arena watching them play against North, because it was just like the entire arena was just exploding whenever they got around. So that was really great. And I wanted to beat Virtus Pro again for the 3rd time for some reason. Like we also beat them in the fake rematch of the Major final. So it would have been so classic and so iconic if we would have played them against them here as well. The thing is that when we beat SK, I think maybe the entire team was really confident we were going to go into the grand final, and maybe that's also why that I wouldn't say we underestimated Gambit in any way, but still, you know, we took maybe just 2% focus away, and that might have cost the round and the game.
Yeah, and yeah, you know, it definitely could overconfidence, not overconfidence, but maybe, you know, kind of only thinking about that finals, thinking you had already done it, is something that could easily cause that to fall away. But there's no denying that Gambit have been playing well, and looking, you know, to the future for them. What are your opinions on Gambit? Would you, because there has been rumours of the CIS shuffle. I'm curious to see if you think Gambit are going to be included in that.
I definitely think so, and I kind of hope so. I think there's a lot of the players in Gambit that's been playing really well. I think Zeus has stepped up tremendously in his own individual game. Mo has his good games here and there, especially against us the other day. Adren usually plays really well. Hobbit as well is really consistent usually as well. The only player I don't really see shine right now is Doja, but he's usually consistent as well when he plays. So they have a good team overall, and I do believe that Navi is going to try and take both Adren and Zeus into the lineup, which would be really sick, I think. But then again, like there's been rumors also before the major that Gambit was going to split after the major. Maybe that's also one of the reasons why they're playing actually well at this tournament, because they play without pressure. They know that they just need to go as far as possible, and if they actually end up losing, then hey, we're going to split up anyways. We've seen that before with NIP when we played them in DreamHack Cluj back in the days. I remember we were the clear favorites in TSM to win, and we faced NIP in the quarterfinals. We were like, yeah, sure. And they had already agreed upon each other that after the event they will split up, and then they beat us, and they decided to stick together because they beat us. It's like whatever. Yeah. So maybe the thing that you have you don't put pressure on yourself, and you don't really have that high expectation. Maybe gets you far away because you just play out of pure intuition. So yeah.
Okay, and lastly, obviously this event did not go as planned. Next up, you've got the DreamHack Masters Malmo, and then you've also kind of got, I believe you guys are attending Blast Pro, given that it's in your home, so definitely going to be seeing you guys there. Looking at those two events in the future, what are kind of your big worries coming into them? Who are the teams you're scared of facing, or not maybe scared, but who are the ones you're most weary of? Because obviously we didn't see FaZe here, we didn't see G2. There are a lot of teams that didn't make it as far as everyone thought they would, yourselves included. Who are the ones that you want to be keeping an eye on as you look now to try and take the future events coming up?
Despite not getting to the grand final here and actually not winning this event, even though that was our main goal, I actually believe that we're going to be the better team of the rest of the year. I don't know why, but there's no team right now I fear. Obviously, SK has been playing well, but I think either this break is going to do a lot of good things for SK and that they will not burn out and get more motivated. Otherwise, I think it might end up they get a little bit out of their flow because they are in a really good flow right now, and if they lose that flow, it might take some time for them to build it up again. Yeah. And the same thing for FaZe Clan. I think it's same situation for both teams. So I don't know. I just have this feeling that I think we're going to be the better team the rest of the years, and I hope we're going to win at least 2 more tournaments. That's at least the goal. The main goal for this year has always been to be the best team throughout the year, and right now I think we're definitely competing for it with SK. Obviously they have won a couple of events more than us, but we won the major back in the days. But then again, they won like two events where there was not like top tier attendance. So I don't know. We'll see. If we beat SK a little bit more consistently in the future, then I think we'll also be the best team.
There we go. And you didn't get the chance at ESL 1 Cologne, so maybe you will at some of these upcoming events, that's for sure. But anyway, thank you very much for talking to us. It was great. Just had to make you use your left hand, so I'm very sorry there. But head on over to cybersport.com to keep up with the news, information, and everything here from the PGL Krakow Major and events to come. That's it from us here, though, in the hotel that Astralis is staying in, and we'll see you in the next one.